Welcome. Welcome, everybody, to the Thursday late night build show. I'm your host, Ben Estrino, over here at the Empower Gaming Computer Studio. And tonight, we build. Welcome, Ant-Man, Kanye, Mr. Approved over there on Twitch. Welcome back to the build show. So we've got quite the build tonight, if you haven't already gathered based on what you see here on the table. It is a massive build for Caden. I see that fat guy there, 4090. Yeah. Hello there, big boy. Which, by the way, are almost damn near impossible to locate right now. Let me, where'd my controls go? Seem to have misplaced my camera controls. But anyway, 4090s and 4080 Supers and 4080s, you could basically not expect to find those anymore. So we are very fortunate to have a brand new 4090 sitting here, which was extremely painful to get. And thankfully, we ordered this early enough. So I'm probably going to have to take all the 4090s and 4080s off the website for the time being, because I just can't get them. I did land a couple of orders today, and was able to land some 4080 Supers, because I have a couple of customers looking for builds with 4080 Supers. So I was... I ended up finding MSRP pricing on them, and I placed the order today, so I'm hoping that those do arrive. 5080 only have 16 gigs of VRAM. Yeah, I'd assume that's probably what it's going to have. What do you think about cloud gaming? Cloud gaming, Ant-Man, I've looked at it. Hey, some Johnny, welcome back. Happy New Year's. Yes, Happy New Year's to everyone. Onra, welcome back to the build show. Happy New Year's. So I've looked at the cloud gaming before, and honestly, I'm not the biggest fan. I've tried it. I feel input lag between me and whatever I'm gaming on, wherever it is. I feel the input lag. So in my opinion, it's not quite there yet for serious gamers. If you're just a casual gamer and you really aren't looking for those things, then maybe you won't even notice it. But if you're serious gamer and you're competitive, then you might notice it very well. Very much. It'll stand out. At least that's been my experience when I tried it, because I was very curious. I'm like, well, am I going to be out of a job soon? If it's all... If cloud gaming is the way to go, am I going to be out of a job soon? The answer to that is I don't think it's anywhere close to that. The bandwidth on the network just isn't there to support the response time, because all you're doing is introducing more input lag from already a input lag setup. So none of it's instantaneous. It's very close, you know, just gaming off your PC or console, etc. You're basically dependent on the input lag of your controls to your system, the system response time to the internet, and the internet to the server and back. And that's really your response time for multiplayer gameplay right now. That would be your input lag between you and the server. Mason Baker, Happy New Year, and welcome back to the build show. Does cloud gaming take a huge load of your PC? No. Not at all. I don't think so. People that are coming to me for builds are looking for high-end builds, or looking to be guided through it. You know, starting off on something and then me helping them out with the upgrades, etc. But they want to really get into it. So that's usually my typical customer that comes to me. Does cloud gaming take a huge load off your PC? Oh, yes, you could pretty much cloud game on a smart fridge. So if you have a smart fridge and you have a cloud gaming account through like NVIDIA or something, you could probably just game off your refrigerator. But I'm joking, of course, but it doesn't take much to make that connection. Although it is important to have very fast, high-speed internet. And when I say high speed, I'm not talking like the pipeline bandwidth. Like, I'm talking both upload and download speeds insanely, ridiculously high. Fiber is like a minimum. The beautiful King 85 Pro finally came out today, building on Saturday. Nice, Kanye. Nice. The 95 Pro came. That's awesome. We're going to be doing a Leon Lee build tonight. So if you haven't caught on with the theme, it's Leon Lee. So this is actually this build that we're doing. I wanted to do a really cool intro for these Titans, but I just didn't have enough time to put together the video. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for the stream, especially when somebody buys a Titan so they can have a special intro. Because this is the Titan from the website. This is basically the best of the best. Minus the CPU, we could have gotten a little better, and I wished I would have gotten a 9800X 3D, but we got the 9900X here for the build. And even at that price point, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if you could zoom in and see that, but the beautiful King 95 Pro is a badass case as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started because we're already starting pretty late here. It's already 11 o'clock, and I've been pushing this build off the last couple of days because just stuff just kept coming up this week, unfortunately, with the service or repairs last second. So it's now that wave is done, we've had a ton of orders come in as well, which is just ridiculous right now, which is fine with me. Hey, what's up, Army Vet? Welcome back. It's a bit cold out there tonight. Yes, it is. It got chilly again over here in Michigan. It warmed up, gave us a little tease of what spring could be like, and then it said, you know what, we're going to switch it back to winter. So Michigan, it is once again winter. But for Caden, this build is for you, sir. This is your Titan that we're going to be building tonight. And for those of you who are not aware, you can go check out the Titan over on the website. This is the AMD version of the Titan. So we're going to start with the CPU, which is an AMD Ryzen 9 9900X that we're going to be building with. And we're going to include the Thermalright contact frame for AM5. We've got Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut Extreme CPU thermal paste here, as well as the Leon Lee Hydro Shift LCD. So there's a built-in LCD, and then it's got the tubes in the center. So the tubes actually run along the side or the back of the cooler and then drop down where it mounts, which is really nice. It's a nice touch. I've built with these a couple of times now. I really like these coolers. They're pretty fancy. It's literally bipolar. Yes, the weather is bipolar. Yes. So that's the cooler we're going to be running, which is a 360 millimeter AIO. Features an LCD screen built right into the block over the CPU, and then we're going to actually replace the 3 fans that are included with some SL Infinities that we picked up from Leon Lee as well. We're going to fill out the rest of the build with the same fans as well, just for awareness. So it's all Leon Lee Infinity fans throughout the entire build. I think we were struggling with trying to get reverse blades during the time. It's just inventory issues. I would have done that instead, but we got stuck with basically the regular SL Infinity. So they'll be flipped around for the intake, but I mean, it's still going to look pretty badass whether or not. We've also got some strimmers that we're going to be included with the build. So the Leon Lee Strimmers V2, both the 24-pin and the 16 12-volt high-power cable for the graphics card. We have the X670E Plus Wi-Fi by ASUS TUF, pairing it with an ASUS TUF RTX 4090 graphics card. And this is the OC edition, so this is the better of the two by ASUS TUF Gaming. We've got a 1200 watt 80 plus gold power supply by ASUS TUF as well. Storage, we've got two 2 terabyte SSDs that we're installing, so a total of 4 terabytes of storage. And the memory that we're going to be putting in here is the 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 megahertz, which is the G.Skill Trident Z5 Neo RGB CL32 is what we've got for this. I've also got an internal USB hub here because there's going to be a lot of USB items plugged into the board, and I just want to make sure we have we have enough USB 2.0 headers, because the streamers take one, the fans take one, and I believe the cooler takes one, so that's 3 right there for sure that are going to be used. Then we also have a Cooler Master vertical graphics card kit, and this is the V3 edition, so this will hold the RTX 4090 very nicely in a vertical position, so it'll be interesting when we ship that, but nonetheless, we'll get it shipped. Haven't seen Caden jump in here yet, so I'm probably going to go message him and make sure he knows that we did go live, because I told him we were going to go live about an hour ago, and I just got backed up trying to get out of here to Micro Center to pick up some parts and for some repairs, and then got back here and had to finish prepping the stream, which is actually a lot more work than you'd think. Dan, that's a build? Yeah, this is basically the best of the best right here. The only thing better we could have done is maybe a little bit more on the CPU, but I'm not a big fan of the 7950X 3Ds. They've struggled. So the only other thing I would have done was the 9800X 3D, but at the time when we're ordering this, none of them were available, and we still got more cores with this CPU, so I just wanted to make sure it was more balanced. 64 gigs, spoil us. Yes, 64 gigs. And welcome back to the Build Show, Robert Fixit. Pop OS Linux, you can game nice on it. It's free. Yes, we could do Linux on here, but we are building this one with Windows 11 Pro. So this one's going to get Windows 11 Pro. The beautiful Happy New Year as well to you, Steve. Happy New Year's. Let me know about the Windows key, by the way. Yes, Kanye, if you need the Windows key, just shoot me a message on Discord and I'll make sure you get one. They're like 20 bucks. I could shoot you a link of where you could purchase it. I think we even have an affiliate link, so we get a kickback when somebody uses it, basically. But there you have it. This is the build, Caden. We're finally doing it. We're going to go late into the night here, just to get it done. I'll go as late as I can, at least, and then if we have to fire the stream back up tomorrow, we can, to finish it, because this is probably going to be about a 4-hour build, not going to lie. We're going to go late, or as late as I can. All right. So I just wanted to make sure I sent that notification out to Caden to make sure he knew that we were live, because he probably doesn't believe me at this point. Well, let's get this build going, shall we? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay, now that we've cleared all of those parts out of the way, motherboard time. Thanks for telling me I'm a Prime member. What's this all about? I was wondering how to install internal USB hub. So that one's going to be plugged into a USB 2.0 Hubbard. The one that the one that I have is going to be plugged into a USB 2.0 header on the motherboard, and then go to the back, and then it's going to make 4 or 5 more USB 2.0 headers. So it'll share the bandwidth between on that single header, but it has its own external power source and everything, so it spreads it out. But I think maybe you're asking about internal USB hub, like USB 2.0 or 3.0 Type A, or your power button will soon be upgraded. I have been dealing with crap repairs in the shop the last 2 days. Yeah, I've had a lot of repairs come through here as well the last few days. No, Amazon have their cloud gaming service called Luna. It's surprisingly good. Yeah, I mean, it's getting better. But this song is like the final countdown. Very similar, yes, that one was very similar. Well, let's get started here. We're going to get this CPU installed into this motherboard to kick things off. The Asus TUF X670E plus Wi-Fi. This thing is a massive beast. A beast of a motherboard, a beast of a system. There are very few systems that will compare to this performance. Maybe a little bit on the CPU, but the CPU can give it a run for its money. Let's get a nice zoom in look here so we can see what we're doing. That's probably good. Probably good right there. A nice close-up of the motherboard. All right, and we'll get the Ryzen 9 9900X out of its box and installed. Kato, sorry, a little late to the live. No worries. Had to pause it, so I was catching up. No worries, man. I know we're starting pretty late, so I do apologize about that, but I said I would build it today, and we are building it today. And I knew you probably didn't believe me after we didn't start an hour late. What? It's been an hour later than I said I was. Thanks for doing this. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it all, as I gotta work tomorrow. No worries. Watch what you can. If you want me to, I can stop the build and when you're ready to go to bed, and I will fire it back up for you tomorrow, if you'd like. Because at this point, it's not going to make a difference. It's going to go out on Monday is probably when it will ship at this point, because that's UPS's timeline. Meaning, it won't be ready to go out until Friday, Saturday if we finished it tonight, for example. Because it's still got to go through the battle tested phase. So then, at that point, it wouldn't be picked up by UPS until Monday. So it makes no difference on the build, you know, when it actually ships out. So if you wanted me to, I could pause the live and go live tomorrow to finish it for you. And tomorrow I could start earlier. I always say that. Everybody's probably rolling their eyes at me. Call off work. No, don't call off work. Definitely don't call off work. That's still important. I just feel bad that it's taken this long to get to this build. These graphics cards are impossible to get right now. Alright, so we've got the CPU installed into the socket here. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually remove this stock bracket. And we're going to install the Thermalright bracket in its place. Because this thing gets nothing but the top-notch treatment. So let me know how late you can go, Kato. Whatever's easier on you. I'm just happy it's being built. Yeah, like I said, it's been a while. That's what I was saying when you originally purchased it. There's going to be a delay getting this thing going. Waiting for these parts. It was like 2 months ago, if we did this build, we'd have it done in, 6 to 9 days for sure. But these graphics cards are just a pain in the ass to get here right now. Very limited supply. So it was actually back ordered when I ordered it. And it got here just before Christmas, and then I had all these other builds that I had to finish up that were already scheduled. And service that came in as well. It's an insanely busy time of the year. We didn't do nearly as many builds as last year, but I feel like we made it up for the builds in service. Whether it's upgrades or people asking for help on a build that they tried to do, Low-key scared to install my CPU and GPU. What if something just snaps? Just be very gentle when you're installing the CPU. That's all. Just be very gentle. Don't just like jam it in there. Pins are probably the weakest thing in the entire build are probably the pins on the CPU socket. Or if you're building with AM4, the pins on the CPU itself. Alright, next up we have our 64 gigabytes of DDR5, 6000, right? 6000 megahertz CL32, and this is the Trident Z5 Neo RGB by G.Skill, which is AMD Expo certified. Yo, what's up? Hey Geesh, what's up? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Owner over on Twitch, I'm sorry I'm not giving you any love over there. What is harder, getting a 4090 or a B580? Right now, getting a 4090 is possible, but you're paying like $500 over MSRP at the moment. It's like $500 to $1,000 depending on where you're buying it, unless you're waiting in line, basically from a couple of certified sellers here in the United States that are still getting them from manufacturers. So if you want a 4090, you can get one. First PC of the year, yes sir. Versus a B580, I guess technically you could get those for over MSRP as well. So I'd say the 4090 is probably more difficult just because it's a higher percentage on the price markup. So, all right, so 64 gigs, 32 gigs each. We're going to drop into the slots here, A2 and B2. Nice and easy. Click, click. Actually, this one just has the one click because it has the clips on the top. That was weird. Okay. Next, we have two 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSDs. Hey Tristan, thanks for the like over there on Facebook, as well as Noah and Casey and Carol. Thank you all for the likes over there on Facebook. This is Mason. I'll switch back to Twitch. Oh, nice to help this one out. Appreciate you. Yeah, I've got 3 different chat windows here, so I'm trying. Bear with me. Kato is suddenly sick until the PC is done. Until he receives it. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. He's been waiting a while for this one. So the excitement should be building up now because we're building it. So this is the MP44 M.2 NVMe 4.0 by Team Group. So this is about 7,400 read and I think like 68 or 6,900 write. So really good speeds on these. They're pretty equivalent to Samsung 980s if you're looking for a alternative when the Samsung 980s are super expensive. They also, I believe these have 5-year warranties on them included. Doesn't say it on the box. Yes, it does. 5-year warranty. So peace of mind for 5 years. It's reassuring. Should anticipate or expect it to run or operate for 5 years. Loving this build so far. Thank you, Mason. Yeah, this build's popping off. Hopefully Caden will get to really enjoy it here as soon as we can get it to him. So we're going to be shipping this bad boy. Now with Asus, some of their M.2 slots actually make a difference. What I mean by that is Asus, some of their M.2 slots will change this PCIe slot to X8 instead of X16. So I just want to double check that in the manual really quick to make sure there's no funny business going on with these M.2 slots, specifically with these Asus boards. Let's see. Almost there. Here we go. 5.0 X4 mode. Supports 4.04 mode. M.2 1. So we want M.2 1 and M.2 3 for both of these SSDs. That'll put it on the CPU lane. And it does not look like... Hold on. Doesn't look like it hinders the PCIe slot for the GPU. So that is good to double verify. I don't build with this motherboard that often. So we're going to be putting it in M.2 1 and M.2 3. That'll put it on the CPU lane for the PCIe lanes. But that's something you want to verify. Not that it's terrible being on the chipset, but a little slower. I'd rather it be on the CPU for faster read-writes. You already have a nice collection of games? Yeah, most of us do. Simply because we've been around for a while. We've seen things. Alright, so there's one 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe. We're just gonna peel this off the thermal pad. Excuse me. And then get this remounted. And then the next one is M.2 3, which is right here. Right? No, that's M.2 2, so M.2 3 is under here. Here's M.23 right here, so that's where we want to put our next one. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm looking at. Sorry. I took the heat spreader off. And it's going in here, which is M.23. And then we just have to peel the thermal pad off of this one here. Take the peel off the peel. There we go. We've got our CPU installed. We've got our SSD installed. We've got our RAM installed. We've got our contact frame installed. All of that is 10-ish weeks or so. I had a lot of money saved before I was more of just me actually ordering it or not. Wow. Well, I appreciate you choosing us to do the build. And I'm sorry again how long it took me. I felt bad. I did tell Caden he can go to the store, the swag store, and pick out some stuff, but he's such an honest guy, he doesn't even want to do that. Because I told him I'd send him a hoodie or whatever he wants from the store for the long wait. Just trying to show my appreciation of his patience for the build. Because I know it's longer than I originally anticipated. So yeah, what monitor do you have, Kato, for this? All right, we're going to move on to getting the case out. We're going to break that case out. It's a UW monitor. Nice. This is all going into the O11 Dynamic Evo RGB. If anybody heard that. Uh-oh. Ouch. Just gonna start taking panels off. Yeah, those are tight. So this is the top panel that I'm removing right now, which is all mesh. And we're going to rotate this bad boy around like this. And we'll get to the glass panels here, which I believe are just popped on there as well. Toolless entry. No tools to access the case, which is pretty awesome. I mean, you've seen me build in the Evo before. So I'm gonna rotate it upside down or to the back side so we can get this off, which is just lift it and push the hinges. I thought push the hinges up, right? Or am I wrong? Oh, we have to remove these two of these. I don't know, I may or may not leave them there. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. Then we need to remove these two panels here, which are just the two clips. Because we're going to be putting fans here. We could probably get away with just leaving this on. It's going to take the two screws. I see how the hinges are. For some reason I thought they were both one direction. We could lift them up. They aren't. So we'll leave them there. Okay, let's drop the motherboard in here. And we'll start tackling some of the cables, and then we'll start tackling some of the fans. I just want to feel... No, that's nice. Nice. So this peel's supposed to come off. But it's like, nah, I'm gonna stay. Alright, I gotta get a pick or something for this. I don't know why some of these peels are just on there so damn good. Then we just line up the motherboard very easily. And then we get our toolkit out from Lian Li, which is included with the case. This fancy box with your Lian Li stick plate. That was a etched metal plate for the case. This is our toolkit that comes with it, or hardware kit. Super fancy. And then here's our hardware for the motherboard. And then we will use our LTT store screwdriver to continue its abuse. We've got 9 screws to secure this board to the case. 9 screws to rule them all. Ant-Man, you have the 5700G. You're going to upgrade to the 5700 X3D. Yes. Yes, sir. I've been talking about that upgrade for a few. By the way, if you can't get a 5700 X3D, I could still get them from the Micro Center here locally. The 5700 X3D. So I do have access to those. Oh, that's nice. Whoever designed this really wanted to make it difficult for me. Steve, the 5900X is good too. Yeah, definitely is. Both of those CPUs are excellent. The 5700X 3D with the X3D or the 3D V cache is a very good option for people who are just gaming, you know. Okay, so now that we got the motherboard installed, we're going to go ahead and get some of these panels plugged in. Going to get our EPS cables plugged in. I'm sorry, cables plugged in from the IO front panel. One thing I did not take into account is the fact that I think... Nope, it's just one. Never mind. Screw it. That's the Evo XL. I always have this weird haunting feeling that I don't have enough USB 3.0 ports on a motherboard because of the Evo XL, but this one only has the one. So we'll get our front panel connector through the other side. We'll get our RGB sync. Actually, we're going to leave... Does this one have two? I don't remember. We'll get the HD audio for sure. Get that through. And we'll just plug it in. The other one's going to use L-Connect. And then we'll get our USB 3.0 and USB-C through to the other side, and then we'll get our EPS cables. Get our EPS cables out of the power supply. So as we're just going to use the standard black ones, they're going to be buried pretty much underneath the cooler anyway. Hello. When did you start doing this as your job? So this is not my full-time job, unfortunately, right now. There just isn't enough volume for it to be a full-time job yet. I tried going full-time in 2023, and I mean, I pushed hard, which is why we did 733 builds. And if that build volume is not even close to 733, it's almost impossible to make this a full-time job, because you don't make a lot of money building PCs. There's just not a ton of money in it. So you need the volume to make up for the lack of builds, or the volume to make up the lack of, you know, money. So if you could do volume, you could do this full time. Feel that peel right now. That done and over with. And here's our cables for the Asus TUF power supply. 1200 watts, 80 plus gold. We just need a couple of EPS cables out of here. CPU. CPU. There. So these two will need to route the motherboard, and I do these so that they don't get stuck under the cooler, and it gets almost damn near impossible to put them in later after we put the cooler in. So I always try to do these before I put a cooler in, like an AIO. Just makes it a lot easier to deal with. These are really nice cables, by the way, with this cooler, or with this power supply. I actually really like them a lot. So these are our EPS cables here. They're going to go in the top corner. Did I really put that one in backwards? I did. Flip that one around. Nice. That's because I'm special. Alright, there we go. There we go, we got our two EPS cables. Technically not really required to have both in here, but we're going to do both. That's if Caden ever wants to overclock the system. He could definitely do that, no problem. With the dual EPS, dual 8-pin EPS. And then we've got our USB-C and USB 3.0 connections here. They're just right here next to the 24-pin. To play with this cable because it just wants to fight me. Fight me. We'll have the 24-pin Lian Li streamers going through here, so we'll kind of tuck these underneath with the streamers. And our front panel connector, which is our power button, etc. It's there. And our RGB, 3-pin addressable RGB. Yeah, we have 2 here at the top as well as 1 at the bottom, which is awesome. This board is loaded for RGB headers, or with RGB headers, which is exactly what I was hoping for. And then our HD audio connection down here in the bottom corner, which is typically where it always is. There we have it. We have some of our cables plugged in. Can't really see it that well, but they're there. Mr. Approved, but when did you start it? Okay, but it looked like you enjoy it, and that's the part that matters. Yes, I do enjoy building, except for, like, this time of the year it gets a little bit crazy. Not gonna lie. Last year, I know a few of you have been around. Ben, what did you bring us from Micro Center? I'll show you guys. I'll show you. Today, I picked up something, but so last year, I know a few of you have been around for a while, and you followed my streams through December last year, and it was so crazy, so absolutely crazy. I did not want to look at a PC for probably like a month after the last year's Christmas season. When I say last year, I mean 2023. It was so crazy busy. When it gets like that, then it's bad. Like, if Ben doesn't even want to look at a PC, it might be time. Yeah, Steve. The X99 boards, you could get the CPU and board for like $100, yes, and you get a decent amount of cores out of those island. Also, wanting to ask anyone know anything about a server hosting PCs, or is that going to be a Discord question? I don't know. What do you mean by that? Anything about server host? Oh, like what are you asking about the servers? Because I have a little bit of experience around Windows Server. Hey, been a bit. Yeah, it's been a while. Haven't seen you in here for a bit. Been working the last few streams. That computer I was working on had a fried graphics card in PSU. I don't remember exactly what was going on there, because it's been a while, and I've worked with a lot of people. I've talked with a lot of people, and I've done a lot of builds. He was plugging it directly into a wall. Power surge. Fried both. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I kind of remember now. I'm guessing all the components were fine after testing, yeah. Cat saying, I hope everyone had a great New Year's. Yes, I hope everybody also. Dieter, is that Dieter? Got my Vision Compact delivered today. Nice. Very nice. That's a nice case, Ben. Thank you. Yes, this is the 011 Dynamic Evo. This is Caden's case. Ben, what did you bring us from Micro Center? We'll go back to that. Okay, real quick. This is just so everybody stops bugging me about it, but this was a pickup from Micro Center that I grabbed a couple of days ago, actually. I did post it on the Discord server, but this is a B580, Intel B580, so it's a Battlemage GPU. Basically brand new. When I say basically, it was open box, but I got it for $215, a B580 open box at Micro Center, and it is the Sparkle Titan. So we are going to be planning to do a Intel build with this GPU here live on stream, probably in the next week or so. Depends on when all the parts show up, because there's just so many things that are just out of stock right now, which is just stupid. It makes it stupid difficult to do these things in a timely manner. But I've got an Intel build with a 12600 KF, I think is what I chose for the build, because I'm trying to do, okay, the person that's going to be buying this B580 from Intel is going to be the person that's trying to do it on a budget. So the 12600 is probably a great pair for the CPU, or the most likely paired CPU, especially if you're staying on Intel. The other option or alternative would be like a 5600X or a 5700X or something like that from the AMD side. But I wanted to keep it in the Intel family since it's an Intel graphics card, just to see how it runs. We'll get to test this thing out. So that's a B580 that we did finally get and snag for a very good price over at Micro Center. So thank you, Micro Center, for letting me grab this. Finally. Outside of that, I picked up some CPUs for some customer builds that have came in. So I grabbed a 5700X 3D, a 5700X, or no, a 5600, two 5700X 3Ds, and a 5600, and then a 9800X 3D for another builder who can't get one for under like $600 and doesn't have a Micro Center nearby. And I told him I'd go grab him one, so I grabbed him one, and he's gonna pay me to ship it to him. So I'm just trying to find a server hosting build that I can run servers for games of like Minecraft. That I don't know too much about, like hosting for games. What my experience is all around like Windows Server 2019, etc., 2016, 2012, and then now the newest one, which is 2025, right? 22 and then 25. Yeah. So my experience is more around the actual business professional side with the servers. Nice, Ben. I've not been lucky enough to buy one yet. Well, if I do see one, Steve, another one, at Micro Center, which I was there today, they did not have any in stock. They didn't have any 4080s. They didn't have any 4090s. I mean, it's been dry picking with GPUs, unless you're just getting an AMD GPU, which those are very widely available, thankfully. Is this the Lamborghini Evo case? This is not. This is just the normal Lian Li 011 Dynamic Evo RGB. So the RGB is, you have RGB strip here and RGB strip down at the bottom, going around the edge of the case, which is, you know, a really cool accent with the RGB. You'll see it when we fire it up. But all right, let's go ahead and keep working on this, because I know we're late. It's 11:30. We're an hour into the build, and we've only got the motherboard in the case. So we've got to keep pushing on this one. What I'm going to do is start tackling the fans. I'm going to do the bottom fans here. And then we'll do the side, the rear, and then get the AIO installed. So we'll tackle those. And for the fans, we're going to be using throughout the entire build the Lian Li Unifan SL Infinity 120s. These are not the reversed blades, unfortunately. When we were ordering these, none of those were in stock anywhere. So we are going with the normal ones for the intake, the non-reversed blades, which is still going to look pretty badass, if you ask me. We've got a couple of these 3-packs to install. And the wonderful thing about these is that You have to peel every peel off of every peel. What I mean by that is there's several peels to peel. Lots of peels to peel off the fan. Elegantly bubble wrapped individually. These are daisy chained, which makes it really nice and easy. Dang it. These fans feature the infinity mirrors on the sides and the center of the blade, so we really can't see the center. But, except for on the top and the rear. Which is typically why we'd want reversed. We can get the full feature of the fan, but still these are really high quality fans, so they're going to last a long time. The bearings are super nice. There we go. Alright, so we want it installed like so. We live 3 states away from a Micro Center. I'm sorry, Steve. Like I said, if somebody needs me to pick something up, I will. I try to accommodate everybody I can. But Micro Center does limit how many things I can buy, as well as everybody else. It's not just a me limit, it's an everybody limit. Some things are 1 item per household, just as an example. And I'm going to put the screws in all of these, not really needed, but just to make sure it's extra secure for shipping. We are shipping this one. Don't want anything flying out and becoming a piece of shrapnel inside this beast, right? Reverse out of stock. Reverse has been out of stock. Yes, it's been a pain to find those. We are not going reverse. One day we'll have a contact directly with Lian Li where we could just pick up the phone and be like, hey, Bob, I need the reverse blades, man. And then Bob will send me reverse blades from Lian Li. I don't know if it's going to be Bob. I just use that name. Eventually, one day, we'll probably be there. Right? Right? Alright. So next up, we have, you guessed it, another 3 fans to install. So we're going to put these ones on the side as intake as well. So we have intake at the bottom, intake on the side, and then we'll have exhaust rear, exhaust on the top with the radiator. With these, now rotate the case around, layer down, and then we're going to just tackle them tackle them in a row of 3. If we get them peeled here. I can't even find a 5700X30 or a 7800X30 chips. Probably gonna make a 3-hour drive to Micro Center. Yeah, Micro Center's had them. I can get you one if you need me to. I've got a Micro Center that's 30-ish minutes away, and I frequently travel there. I'm a frequent flyer to Micro Center. I'm there so often that people know me by name. I don't know why those two screws did that. Why not do these as intake, Ben? Just curious. These are intake. Right? Are you screwing with me? I think you're trying to screw with me. These aren't reverse blades, unfortunately, because they weren't in stock. Hard to find them in stock anywhere. So these are just regulars. So we gotta flip them around. Ugh. You'll see intake, intake. So that's why you're probably confused, because I would usually use a reverse blade on these flipped around. But in this situation, because the reverse blades are not available, these are still going to look pretty badass. I would have preferred the reverse blade. They were just nowhere to be found. Oh, my bad. I was looking at my case. Yes. Those are reverse blades on yours. You will have the reverse blade experience. Alright, so we have one more 120 millimeter to install, and that's going to be in the rear here. Giggity. And then we can tackle the AIO. We're moving through this a lot quicker than I thought we would, to be honest. Dang it. That is simply because these Lian Li fans make the experience that much better. Come on, get boy. Send that cable through. There. And then we'll try to get this one as low as we can, mounted in the rear. Do 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 do. Feels like we're going back to a 90s movie. I'm actually surprised that Lian Li have not followed that tech. What do you mean? Very cool what Thermaltake did with the fans. Oh yeah. They switched between normal to reverse. Just a little expensive for my pocket. Yes, definitely. So it looks like end of February before stuff gets back in stock. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, NVIDIA hasn't even talked about a release date for the 50 series yet, unless that slipped out and I missed that. But to my knowledge, there isn't even a release date for the 5000 series yet. All right. Got that rear fan installed. See that bad boy in there? Yeah. So now we can get the cooler installed. No problem. And we won't have any hindrance when we get the cooler in here to get any of these cables in place, though this case is pretty large. So, excuse me. So let's get the cooler out and start tackling that bad boy. Hey, Caden, are you still here with us? Where'd you go to bed? You didn't want to tell me so I could keep doing the build. I bet you that's what he did. He wants me to finish it. One cable to rule them all. Yes. In this case, or this build, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different cables going to a hub. 4 cables to rule them all. Do. Oh my goodness. The hydro shift. Yeah, let's just flop around enough so that we can it's not that hard. Well, I destroyed that box. It's okay. You don't typically see me Hulk boxes like that. Alright, so we're going to remove these 3. These 3 fans are going to be removed. And then we are going to replace them with some more infinity fans. You guessed it. 3 more. 3 more infinity fans. I've actually never taken these off the cooler before. But this cooler was such a badass cooler. Especially for Lian Li build. It just makes this build look so clean. Because the hoses are straight down to the cooler. Nobody likes boxes anyway. I'm actually surprised that Lian Li have not... Yeah. Kato, I'm still here. I don't want you to stop the stream unless you want to. No, I don't. I'm not stopping unless you tell me to. If you tell me, hey Ben, let's finish it tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow. But if you want to go to bed and you say keep building, I will keep building. I'm getting this build done tonight. Unless you tell me otherwise. Totally up to you. It's the least I can do for the long wait. The least I can do. Well, I mean, I owe it to him. I definitely owe it to him, Tat. This build, I think he ordered in the beginning of December. What was the date? 12/9 is when he ordered it. That's how long it took us to get a 4090 here. That wasn't a complete ripoff. And I wanted a matching, so I probably could have gotten a Zotac 4090, I'm not gonna lie. But I wanted a matching Asus TUF 4090 for the Asus TUF motherboard. So that was partially my fault. But it's gonna be a lot better with the matching card and motherboard. It's worth it. It was worth it. Just a little extra weight. Because it makes it perfect. Be back? Need to take my dog out? Yeah, no problem, Steve. Do what you gotta do, man. Dog needs to go and a dog needs to go. So I did do that, I will confess. Because I'm a perfectionist freak when it comes to my builds. Sorry. Okay. The only other thing I could have done is tried to find these reverse fans, but I mean, I looked everywhere. And they were just not in stock. It wasn't even like a ripoff in stock somewhere. They were just not in stock. I was looking everywhere. They didn't even have them at Micro Center. They had the 140s, but 140s doesn't really do me any good on this one. I mean, I guess we could have done 140s in the bottom, and I think on the side. But no 140 on the... Or you know what, they didn't have enough of them, that's what it was. Because I was actually going to do that. I was going to switch them out to 140s instead of 120s to get the reverse blade. But there just wasn't enough of them. So then it would have looked stupid having a partially reversed. So at that point, I just said, it is what it is. And moved on. Probably gonna go to bed soon, so yeah, no problem, man. You do what you gotta do, and I'll keep building. So if you want to come back in here tomorrow and watch the rest of the build, happy to do so. When you wake up in the morning with your coffee or whatever, you can watch the rest of this build. Just so you're aware, we're at 1 hour and 25 minutes is where you're jumping off if you want to skip through. The weight didn't bother me. Okay, good. I'm so conscious about that because I feel terrible when things don't go as planned. Like, I wanted to get this build done for you because I knew you were excited for it. So, I was excited for you. And if you guys weren't aware, this is Caden's second build from me. He originally started out, I think, with his gaming PC adventure with his first build for me. So he is a return customer. Because apparently we did a good job the last time. Sometimes we try. Do 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 do. All right. There is our new fans for the cooler. We just got to get this mounted to the actual radiator. And then oh, come on. Tight bit. Why is it biting the way I would expect it to? Doesn't want to bite. These are slightly too big on the side here, which pushes them a little bit out of alignment. Wow, that was a pain. Okay, now that that pain is over with, we can I don't think we need that. No. I felt bad emailing you. Well, we're probably two of the same persons that feel bad for one another. No worries, man. It's my job to get it to you, so it's on me. Had the same problem when using the Montech screws. Freaking the wrists were on fire. Well, that one was kind of a little over the top, if you ask me. A little bit over the top. I think these are AMD. It's our radiator screws, our extra paste that we're not going to use because we have Thermalright, or I'm sorry, Cryonaut Extreme, and then that is a little bracket thingy dingy, and these are those. So this and what screws? Where's my screws? This is LGA 1700, which we're not going to use. Where's my screws? It's a radiator. Nope. We really just use the screws from the bracket? The stock bracket? Okay. Just trying to get the mounting brackets on there. We take these bad boys off. We reuse the same screws that just came off. This is CPU. And CPU. Like this. We reuse the same screws that we just removed to secure the bracket. Very efficient by Lian Li, I guess. You don't have to make the screws because they're reusing the same screws that came with the bracket. The stock brackets. I actually like that a lot better than Intel's method, which is the bracket that goes through the board. Oh, hey. Hey, Seth. Seth Karma 720 over on the Twitch. Thank you for the follow over on the Twitch. But for the Hydro Shift, it's these two plastic brackets that go over the socket. We remove the stock brackets that come with the motherboard, these bad boys. And then we reuse the screws that come with the motherboard that secure these to secure those brackets. And now we have our mounting hardware situated here for the Hydro Shift, the Lian Li Hydro Shift. And then there are little markings on these brackets that have an arrow pointing to the CPU. So I assume that means this pointed to the CPU. Hey, thanks for the thanks for dropping in, man. But let's get this Hydro Shift finally installed, shall we? So we're going to mount this bad boy in such a way that hopefully it's easy going from here. Oh yeah, we've got different pumps and things to plug in. I'll try to get these tackled. Cable managed / tackled. I always forget how much come off this thing. And if we were using the original fans that came with this, then we would have had a PWM header here for the fans to plug into so we can run the Lian Li software. But we're not doing that. All of this is literally headed to the back of the case at this point. Right? Yeah. That's going to run down to the USB 2.0 header, which we're going to be using a NZXT 2.0 hub, because we've got a couple of USB header requirements in the system, 3 of them to be exact. And then our CPU fan header will go right here, unless that's for the pump. I'm going to put it on the head. CPU fan header. There we are. Now we can definitely work to get this thing mounted up top. Finally, it is time to mount the radiator. Cajun's gonna be so shocked when he wakes up tomorrow to see this thing built. He's gonna be in awe. Dang it. May have screwed myself a little bit here. Hold on. There we go. I've unscrewed myself. In recovery. I guess we can center it up. Get this one maybe started. Damn it. Work with me. Just need to get 2 screws in here to get this bad boy started. There we go. And of course, Lian Li AIO. In a Lian Li case, the Lian Li AIO screws go through the bracket. It's not something we want to see, especially if we're shipping this thing. Definitely gonna have to reinvestigate that. What is this deal? Why is it so lopsided? Is it bent? Jesus. Nobody saw that. I don't know why it was so lopsided to begin with, but I'm going to take this bracket off and then mount this thing, because... Or no, I'm not, because I already got the cables routed. Why is it so lopsided when I mount this thing? Oh yeah, the screws sucks. Yeah, I'm going to push it in just a little further. So that one looks like it lines up right. Screw it. Quite literally, screw it. It still do the bowing thing. When I say bowing, it looks like it's bowed. But it's not. Weird. Don't understand that, but okay. And because we're shipping it, we're putting all the screws in to ensure that this bad boy does not bounce out and become a big piece of shrapnel inside the case. So, let's make sure it is going to stay secured. Damn it. Okay, radiator is finally mounted. Let's go ahead and lay this bad boy down. Oh, what was that? Nice. And it's one thing after another with this belt. Build a crazy PC, they said. It'll be fun, they said. No, I'm just kidding. It's fun. Okay. Push these cables through. Get them all out of here and out of the way. I don't want to see them anymore. Then we'll get our thermal pasty. Go thermal pasty, which is going to be our Cryonaut Extreme. Are we getting close, people? Yes, we're getting very close. We still have the streamers, the power supply, the graphics card, the vertical bracket. We're getting close. And then dealing with connecting the rest of these fans. But we are getting close. Close, close, close. Okay. And now for the resistance. Zippy ties, zippity ties, zippity ties, zippity ties, you're there. Whew. That's a rogue screw, it was. It came off the, it just popped right out. I think I'm gonna have to take those fans off and shave them down, to be honest. There's little pegs on the back of these. It's tight. I've done it before like this, and that's never been a problem. But I think I'm gonna have to take them off and shave them down a little bit. I think that's what I had to do the last time too. But it was a while ago, since I built with the Hydro Shift, so with these fans on there. I don't remember what I did. I'm pretty sure I shaved them down though. All right, so we'll get our 24 pin in, and then we could tackle the graphics card and the strimmer for the graphics card as well. There's our 24 pin strimmer. Very easy peasy install for that. I'm going to go ahead and before we tackle the graphics card, I'm going to get our USB 2.0 header in there. So that way all we have to do is plug in the hub itself. Might be a smart idea, huh? Oh my gosh. And then also our Lian Li fan hub. Let's get that plugged in too. It was actually going to go up here at the top. It wouldn't have made that big of a difference. Or zippy ties. Zippy tie, yay. There we go. It's that nice clean look. Right, we want to carry that through the entire build. All right, now we can start tackling the 4090 with the vertical bracket. Not gonna lie, I may have to get one instead of the Thermalright. Really like the hidden tube look. Yeah, I know, it's so clean. There's actually a bracket for this as well. But I'm not a... I mean, if you take it off, it becomes a hindrance. So, I think it looks pretty damn clean just the way it is right there. But there is another bracket for it that you could really, really make it look clean. But here we go. Let's stand this bad boy back up, and we'll start tackling the vertical graphics card installation. So this will be unique to ship. We'll have to make some special instructions for this. Here is our bracket. Not supposed to come with the... Okay. Oh, there they are. But where'd they go? Where'd my screws go? We're getting into the old music. That means we've been building for a while. 2 hours. Alright, so now we'll get the card installed into this bracket, and then this bracket will get put in there with the card on it, and we'll connect the PCIe. So it's kind of a little bit of a process here, and this is one that you'll want to pay attention, Caden, when you're watching this the next time, is this installation, because you are going to have to install. I'm going to ship the bracket installed, but the graphics card is going to be uninstalled from the bracket. So we might have to, you might have to, unless you have a stubby small screwdriver like this guy here, wherever he went. Now, this is a flathead, but a Phillips version of this. I don't know where my stubby guy went. But if you have a little stubby screwdriver like this guy, small, Phillips, you could actually install it without taking this bracket out. But without that, you might not be able to. So you might have to take the bracket out and put the card in, then put the bracket back in. Alright, next up, let's get the graphics card out of its massive box. So it is 4090 time. It's the time that we've all been waiting for. The revealance of the great 4090. Back-to-back builds with 4090s on the stream. This one is a Tough Gaming. There we go. Gotta get that wrapper off. Come on. Oh, let me just rip it. Don't usually tear up boxes like this. And here's our massive 4090. Yeah. When I say massive, it's massive. And we'll have probably 15 million peels to peel off of this bad boy. So here we go. Let's start peeling. Peel the peels. Or I might just ship it like that, put it in a separate box. I don't know, I'll think about it. I've never had to ship a vertical mounted card before. Didn't think of that one. But it's okay. We'll get through it. Alright, so next, we have to take some of these brackets off on the back, and then we can get this bad boy mounted. And very carefully with this slotted cable, get this installed into the PCIe slot. Don't want to bend it. We can avoid that. The teeth have to line up perfectly, which is a pain in the ass. Doable. There we go. Now I'm going to reposition this card just a little bit. It's a little bit more centered. There we go. And then I'll give you guys a look. I know you guys can't see very well there. Look at that. Now that is a big boy. Hey there, big boy. Yes, I kind of expected the glow as well, but there was no glow when I opened up the 4090 box, unfortunately. Beautiful zero sagging. Well, right now it's vertical. There's a little bit of a sag. If anything with this mount, for some reason the tail end likes to come towards the glass. Like this tail end here likes to swing this way towards us, towards the camera. And I don't know why it does that when it's standing, you know, right side up. But yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit of sag and give there. I could probably tighten this up a little bit to help with that. But what I usually would do if this is a local pickup is put a zip tie down here at the bottom and kind of pull it towards the case, the center of the case. And that kind of helps it stay centered. And you can't really see the zip tie. It's kind of hidden away underneath in the bottom. But absolutely beautiful. So next, we've got Strimmer Plus V2, which these are hard to find right now as well. Strimmers. Strimmers are hard to find. The GPUs are hard to find. The reversed Lian Li bands are hard to find. Everything is hard to get right now. I don't know why. Kind of stupid. Must be the Chinese or Asian New Year going on over there somewhere. Everybody's taking a break. We need more product. Do. Stand it back up, put these trimmers in, and then we put a power supply in, and then we finish plugging the rest of the cables in. Yeah. Nearly done. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This Jeep. Oh, yeah, thank goodness. I was just putting it in funny. We're good. No kidding me. No kidding me. False alarm. We're okay. I was just tired. Apparently, Ben gets tired. Okay. Take a shot of Mountain Dew to get through the rest of it. Yeah. Getting heavy. Power supply's not even in there yet, but there we have it. We could probably work this RGB down a little bit further, which I probably will do. So let's get the power supply in, do the rest of the cables on the back side, then we're home free, ready to fire it up soon. Do. Need a big boy for that one. Big boy zip tie. Where'd it go? The cutters. Oh, because we already opened one. I'm an idiot. But that's okay. We already knew that. Mm. Get back here. Sorry if my head's getting in the way. Can you just go in there for me? We're getting there. We're getting there. Do we count? We count what? How many times I say, oops? Ben, have you ever had someone just hang out while you build the PC? Yes. Yes, I have. What are we counting? How many times I say, oops? Oops. That's not fair. Maybe. Okay, well, we've got everything in here except for the power supply and our Lian Li streamers at this point. And we're pretty much mostly cable managed. Mostly cable managed. So we're looking pretty fly right now. Or how many zip ties? Maybe it's how many zip ties I use. Maybe that's what it is. We're gonna need 1, 2, 3 of these guys for sure. One of them. Zip it back through. Two. I'll also send that back through. Lots of SATA power off this one. This one is going to need SATA power. Of it. Alright, and the last thing is the RGB hub. For the streamers. Which is this guy. And of course the power supply. Almost there, guys. Almost there. What are we at? 1 o'clock? Well, we did go late. We went very, very late. But I kind of anticipated that with the fact that I got started so late as it was. Shit. I really don't want to put these adhesives on the case. These are like little magnets with an adhesive on both sides. So you have the option of the magnet or the adhesive. But I took the adhesive side off and put it on the unit. And then rely on the magnet itself. So it might bounce around a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, this has an RGB header as well. Not the end of the world. This means we have one more cable to go to the front. I think it's right here to go pop through. And this guy, go down and under and over here. There we go. We've got, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 SATA connections for RGB stuff. And hubs and things. 6 SATA power cables to use. Which is crazy to me. Okay, let's get the power supply going And then finally, we'll get to fire this thing up. The moment we've been waiting for very soon. I see. Oh well, taking... Oh, we like talking late in the year, buddy. Anytime soon. Whoa. We count as many people who hang out while you build PCs. Oh. I mean, I've had quite a few people. How many people? I don't know. I've had several people like bring me parts and then want to watch me build it here, physically. So yeah, I've had people do that a lot of people. I think well over 20. I mean, it's gonna be cold, windy in the north. Yes. If you mean like people come here just to watch me build, not their build, but any build. No, not really. Maybe my daughter. She's a big fan. My daughters. Girls, they're all big fans of me. Kind of cool that this 1200 watt power supply has dual PCIe connections. I'm sorry, the 12 pin. I'm sorry, 16 pin 12 volt. Wow, I must be getting tired. Will we have enough SATA cables? 2, 3. We're gonna have enough. 2, 3. You might have to get a splitter for the SATA. Not think that I would ever have to say that on a 1200 watt power supply. It only comes with 2 SATA power cables that I did not take into account, which is a total of 5, and we have 6. So that's interesting. Unless I have a power cable somewhere that I'm not... didn't know I missed. Interesting. Pretty sure I have splitters here. Those I've not touched in a long time, though. Haven't had to. Well, be after the wedding. We will be going to, though. If I get my parts in and my wife allows it, it may take a trip his way and sweet talk him into putting a new motherboard and an AIO into my case. I would do it for you. I would do it for you, Tat. You know I would. You wouldn't even have to sweet talk me. I'll let you think you're sweet talking me into it. How about that? All right, I need to go find a SATA splitter. Hold on. It's been a while since I've needed one of these. The old ketchup and mustard look to it, though. These are pretty high quality ones. But that's how long it's been since I've had to use one. Been a long time since I've had to split a SATA connection. There, now we have enough SATA connections for all of our SATAs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. I'll bury these ketchup and mustard cables. Okay. Literally, that is the limit. The other option would have been a Molex to SATA power adapter. Would have been the other option. But yeah, for now, because I feel like I'm gonna have to come back here anyway and deal with some tune-up before I pack this thing. Not even gonna bother with the rest of the cable management right now, because I have to come back in here to pack it up. Alright, let's get the rest of this hardware packed up. I'm definitely gonna try to work this thing down. I forgot about these clips here for this guy. There. I think we're ready. You guys ready? Wish Caden was here to tell me to power this thing on. Or should we save it for him tomorrow and ask him to go live and ask him to tell me to power it on? Nah, he wants to see it. He wants to see it at the end of this video. I'm not going to put the glass on because, well, it likes to reflect. So I'm just going to keep the glass off for the reveal. Put this top panel on. We'll get it plugged in and we'll get a side view and then we'll fire this thing up. Once and for all. Ooh, it's already glowing. Let's do this. Side view time. Activate side view. All right, Caden, are you ready to see your build? Your new Titan for the first time. Let's LFG. I wonder what that means. Hey, what's up, man? Good morning, everyone from the Greece. Welcome back to the build show, sir. Light her up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, fire. Definitely got to move that RGB strip down. Looks like such a, you know, silly. I'll work that down. I'll probably have to like pop it off and work it down. Damn. That is some juicy RGB. Wonder if we got a post. I see a white light. Usually a good sign on Asus, right? Screen's kicking on. That means USB's hitting it. And there you go. We got a post. That means Ben built a PC right. Where is Kinda? Or where is Caden? Enjoy your PC. Caden is over here in the United States. Caden had to go to bed because he has to get up early and work tomorrow. I did ask him if he wanted me to stop the stream and then finish it tomorrow live for him. So, but he unfortunately told us not to worry about it, and he'll catch up with the build stream tomorrow. So, because I got started pretty late over here. It's 1 o'clock over here. And I got started around 10:30-ish. I want to say 10:30 p.m., 10:40. Looks so good. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a Titan that was born today, guys. A Titan was born. Even with the fans that are, you know, without the reverse blades, this thing just looks so badass. And, I mean, these infinity mirrors, they're crisp. One thing I would have said that Lian Li could have done is a version of this fan without the RGB on the fan blades itself, so that it's just lines, and then the RGB on the infinity mirror. That would have been that would have looked so clean, so clean. But I mean, this thing is already pretty clean, even with the extra RGB on it. Yeah, it's clean. So I'll move this RGB cable down a little bit, try to get it as close to the connection as possible without hindering the connection for the 12 volt high power. Outside of that, a little bit more cable management when I'm packing it up. And of course, I got to do the Windows install, the BIOS updates, and all those things and jigs, and then battle test this thing to make sure that those cables are bright. Yes, they are. We can turn the brightness down once we get into Windows. and get the Lian Li L Connect 3 software installed, we should be able to turn the brightness down on them, so it kind of matches the rest of the build. But I mean, in person, I think it's really the camera that's doing that makes it look brighter, because in person it looks right. Maybe a little bright, but not too bad. Tell me something, my friend. Ryzen 7900X or this 9000 series 8-core, 12-core CPU for a new PC? Sorry to make the same questions. I mean, many times, but the other guys tell me different, and I want your opinion. So in the 9000 series, I mean, if you can get your hands on a 9000 series, and it's not too much more expensive than the 7900X, we just did a 9900X in this build, and so I mean, if you can get it for a decent price, then go for it. Yes. Do I need audio drivers, etc., when I'm booting, or just Windows? So to boot, just Windows. And then after you get into Windows, then yes, you will want to install your drivers for the motherboard, if that's a new build for you, Kanye. Beautiful, and thank you, Onra. LFG equals looking for group. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I did not know that. Did not know that. There we have it. The Titan was born. We're at the post screen, and well, now we're in the BIOS. So we are ready to send this one on its way, or at least get it to the next step. But that was build number 1 for 2025, guys. And what a way to start with a massive build like this for Caden. Yeah, just confused about the whole setup thing. I'll have to watch a long tutorial. Yeah. I thought LFG said let's effing go. We're being sarcastic. I think some giant idiot over on Twitch is being sarcastic. Look at, or he's just trying to get me to say that. So I pretty much just read anything in the chat. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. But yeah. What a way to build. What a first build for 2025. And we've got lots of more builds to do. They're all coming in. I've had several orders within the last couple of days. Parts are starting to trickle in for more builds, so we will have more build streams. I think we're going to start the rest of these build streams at the beginning of the week, because I gotta get this one out for Caden, and then I've got a couple in here for service that I need to finish up as well. So we're probably going to be tied up at least until Saturday, and then Sunday I've got some personal stuff going on. So Monday will probably be the next build stream. Unfortunately, Monday or Tuesday is when we'll get back into the swing of things, and then we're going to probably be pounding out build stream, back-to-back build streams throughout the week, next week. So lots of builds coming up next week. Just waiting on parts right now, honestly. I guess one I have parts for, but... Or is that... Oh yeah, it's still missing. We're still waiting on the... graphics card. But a lot of cool little builds coming up here. Including a gold and black one, just for you, Tat. Somebody finally came to me and said they wanted gold, and they wanted black. So, we're going to do a gold and black build. Just for you, bud. Not for you, but for the customer... But I know you want the theme. You want to see the theme. Gold cables, yes. But all right, guys, that is it for the night. Thank you, everybody, for joining me and also staying up this late. It was super late. And hanging out with me to do the build. I appreciate it. I always appreciate everybody hanging out. And we will see you next time on Monday for build number 2 for 2025. Build number 2. Have a good night, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one. And Happy New Year. Right? And Caden, I hope you like this. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. But the PC will probably be shipped Monday. Have a good night, guys. Bye.